There are a million videos on the internet for players who are wondering how best to optimize their characters. Those videos talk about builds and how they affect each other, and then they show you how to make that build yourself. But there aren't a lot of videos like that for dungeon masters. If you've got a game tonight, look no further. Here are 5 encounters you can stick into your game, one for each proficiency level of the game, +2, +3, +4, +5, +6, right? For all 5 tiers of play. You don't need any lore or background, this is just good old fun combat, which is based on fun dynamics monster stat blocks can have with each other. And what's more, if you like none of them, I'm sure listening to me talk about some random monsters is going to make you want to run the game. So, if nothing else, there we go. Welcome to Mystic Arts. My name is Daði, I'm a professional writer and director, and I've been DMing for over 10 years. In this bonus Tuesday episode, I'm at my desk because I'm going to open D&D Beyond, and I'm going to show you the stat blocks I'm talking about. For my first encounter, let's talk about my favorite monster, the Kobolds. Kobolds are famously weak creatures, but they can be a lot of fun, and mostly because of their feature, Pack Tactics. Pack Tactics says the Kobold has advantage on an attack roll against the creature if at least one of the Kobold's allies is within 5 feet of the creature and the ally isn't incapacitated. Meaning that if you're fighting one Kobold, it's making attacks as normal, but if you're fighting 2 of them, they're next to you, and they're both next to each other, they both have advantage on the attack roll. But here's what's fun about the Kobold. They have a sling attack. Meaning, if one Kobold is next to you, and 20 of them are back here, they can all sling you with sling attacks, and they all have advantage. But obviously, a Kobold only has 5 hit points and 12 AC, so you just hit the Kobold and it dies, and now somebody else has to go into melee with you. So what do? Well, you give him a buddy. The Kobold Dragonshield has 44 hit points and 15 AC. Here's what you do. The Dragonshield goes up to the player character tank, and then takes the dodge action. Now, they have disadvantage on AC 15. All the Kobolds in the back rank, however many you need to challenge your players, attack with slings with advantage as long as the Dragonshield is alive. If your party is a bit higher level, you could use multiple Dragonshields and then a huge back rank. Then you could elevate it even further by making the back rank literally elevated on rafters or in cave openings 20-30 feet above the ground, and suddenly these Dragonshields are providing advantage to 40 Kobolds that the players can't even touch. This one is a lot of fun. It's my favorite. I use it all the time. Let's say your party's a bit higher level. It's got like +3 proficiency bonus. Well, let's have a look at the Shambling Mound. It is a large plant with 110 hit points, and it has lightning absorption. Whenever the Shambling Mound is subjected to lightning damage, it regains a number of hit points equal to the lightning damage dealt. Alright, so if a player tries to cast Lightning Bolt, suddenly the Shambling Mound gets a bunch of hit points back. That's fun. If you want to be mean, you give the Shambling Mound a friend. This is the Will-O-Wisp. Its basic attack deals 2d8 +2 lightning damage. It's got high AC, and its hit points are nothing to sneeze at either, and it's got a fast fly speed, meaning your Shambling Mound can be shambling along the front rank where all the players are, and the Wisps come in, zap it, and then fly out, constantly healing the Shambling Mound. And now the players are going to have to circle around the Shambling Mound to try and shoot down these Wisps that are flying all over the place. And what makes it extra fun is the Shambling Mound can engulf characters. It literally grabs them and keeps them still. And if it starts doing that to enough players, it can hold them all in place, give them disadvantage on attacking creatures other than itself, and meanwhile it's getting healed by the Will-O-Wisps that are zapping it with lightning. For a combo you're all probably aware of, the Mind Flayer and the Intellect Devourer play lovely together. If you're not sure why, here it is. The Intellect Devourer's Steel Body ability only works on incapacitated creatures, right? A humanoid or beast with 10 hit points or fewer. A Mind Flayer's Mind Blast stuns creatures, and stunned creatures are incapacitated. So the Mind Flayer blasts a Mind Blast on all the player characters, or however many it can get in a 60-foot cone, most of them. And then the Intellect Devourers it has with it, however many you have, all come scurrying out and try and steal the brains of everybody who's incapacitated. And this combo is way more fun when you use the Legacy Intellect Devourer, because when it targets something, they don't have to have less than 10 hit points. They just need to roll 3d6, and if the total equals or exceeds the target's intelligence score, the score is reduced to 0. So the Mind Flayer blasts, the Intellect Devourer come in, and then they pick off all the unconscious, stunned, or incapacitated characters. Add more Mind Flayers and more Intellect Devourers the higher level your characters are. Alright, let's say you've got an encounter coming up and it's against the Mage. And you don't know, you look at the stat block, it seems perfectly fine. Maybe you prefer the Legacy one with a huge spell list, but this one's here. It's pretty savage, especially if it uses 3 arcane bursts, but that's a fairly standard encounter. So how do you spice it up? Well, you give him a Shield Guardian. Shield Guardians are golems, they're like iron golems or stone golems, but they are specifically for spellcasters. They are friends of spellcasters, and they do this in a number of ways. First off, they are magically bound to a spellcaster. Second, they have spell storing, so a spellcaster who wears the Guardian's amulet can cause the Guardian to store one spell level of 4th or lower, and the Mage can cast a 4th level fireball twice a day. So if the Mage yesterday cast 4th level fireball into the Shield Guardian to make it store it, then in the fight against the Mage can cast fireball at 4th level twice, and the Shield Guardian an additional time. Also, as long as the Mage is next to its Shield Guardian, the Shield Guardian can use protection. When an attack roll hits the wearer of the Guardian's amulet while wearing it, within 5 feet of the Guardian, the wearer gains +5 bonus to AC against the triggering attack. So it basically gets a free shield against one attack, which saves it a use of protective magic, or rather, will protect it when the Mage casts Counterspell. And now for the most ridiculous one. This one is a lot of fun. And if you've got a ridiculously high-level party, something that, you don't really know how to deal with, here's a way you can really put the screws on them. Whenever they're about to go fight their big endgame ancient red dragon, and you want to do something special for it, here's what you do. You give it kobold minions, you give it, half-dragon lieutenants, but then you also give it a small collection of bodyguard iron golems. Because iron golems have fire absorption. Whenever the golem is subjected to fire damage, it regains a number of hit points equal to the fire damage dealt, just like the Shambling Mound. So the fire golem is going to be out here doing 30 damage on average per attack, so a total of 60. You could have 3 or 4 of them, and they all go attack the player characters, hacking at them with their blade arm, and then when the iron golems are low, the red dragon breathes fire on all the characters, dealing an average of 91 damage, and heals the iron golems an average of 91. This is insane, and it's so much fun. You can find all these kinds of dynamics just by looking at stat blocks, seeing how things play together, and then trying them out. When a lot of people complain that combat isn't fun or that they don't like it, I think they should try this kind of stuff. Try making stat blocks that play together, that literally interact. Make the monsters make each other more powerful. There was this bit in the Avengers where they were going to have Iron Man land and Captain America land, and they were fighting monsters separately. But then one of the previous artists or somebody working on the film said, what if we did this instead? Iron Man bounces his beam off of Captain America's shield and then flies off. And now they're playing together. One of them becomes more powerful by virtue of the other. Once you start doing this and having these monster dynamics, either by using the monster manual or with your own homebrew monsters, suddenly everything starts to get a lot more fun. It's important to remember that you are also playing a game. You, the dungeon master, are supposed to be having fun. Get your monsters, get excited about them, see what happens when you bash your toys together, and then you can cackle as things go insanely fun. At one point I had a giant that could knock people prone, and then, if they were prone, he could stomp on them and do a whole bunch of damage. You didn't need 2 monsters to do that. Just one monster is trying to activate a thing. By dropping somebody prone, they can now use a more advanced attack. Same with the Mind Flayer. Its Eating Brains ability only works when it uses the Mind Blast. So it Mind Blasts, and then it eats brains. I honestly think this is such a fun way to play, and I think if you're not enjoying combat, doing stuff like this is going to make you love combat. And that's where we'll pick it up next time. Thanks so much for watching this video. This channel is run by me and my girlfriend, and if you want to support us, consider coming by our Patreon, where you can get access to our exclusive Discord, and as well as if you join us on the Adept tier, you can get our homebrew PDFs, which right now includes firearm rules, a whole class, hexploration, and more. So absolutely come check us out. But if that doesn't float your boat, and you're feeling especially generous, then like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when we release new videos. Until next time, keep studying the mystic arts.